22. Is this movie about finding aliens in the ocean a bait and switch? Theme song.
Kyle's Reviews! Kyle's Reviews!
If you want to see Immanence, check the link in the description below. So from the description, I thought this was going to be an Abyss, Deep Star 6 type of movie where they go and they encounter aliens underwater, but it's not. Turns out it is more supernatural. And I should have known that from the start, where we see a guy who is really looking for actual exorcisms, but he's sort of finding fake ones.
What are you doing? You don't put a gun in a man like that!
What I'm looking for is the real thing. This ain't it.
And then we find a woman who is our main character, and she is sort of having a debate with her mom about religion.
Do you know why they did that to him? Do you know? Because he was one of them, and he healed them, and he blessed them. Do you know why they did that to him?
Mom, I've got the car running. I've got to go.
And we find out that we see actually a comet, a meteor, streak across the sky, and it lands in the ocean. And we find out that the woman is some sort of astronomer, science lady doer person. So her and her colleagues rent a boat where the guy who's into exorcism is the captain. And let me tell you, we know that we're in for a ride when we get acting like this.
I like to think of it as the death rattle of ancient stardust.
Now that's appropriate because that shit is killing me.
Really? Okay. Don't be inspired. I'll listen to it all by myself.
That's great.
And then once they get to the site in the ocean where they think the thing crashed, mysterious stuff starts to happen. And I gotta say, the most mysterious thing about the movie is the people's reaction. They get out there, which happens to be the Bermuda Triangle.
Dragons and the four horsemen of the apocalypse. Where do they come from? They rise from the sea.
The Bermuda Triangle?
The Devil's Triangle.
And weird things happen, and then they just kind of get over it really quickly. Like, for example, they have many of them hallucinate that they're dying. And it's kind of confusing because you're like, are they really dying or is this hallucination? Turns out it's hallucination. And after a couple minutes, they're like, YOLO, whatever, and never really mention it again. Then they talk about how, look at the ocean. It's at night, of course. It's so unnaturally calm.
Have you ever seen anything like this?
Nobody's ever seen anything like this because it's impossible.
And they talk about maybe it could be oil. Maybe it's oil from the alien ship or something. And they never bother to, like, analyze the water. They don't even scoop any out and see if there's anything weird about it. Then they have some fish in a cage and overboard. They pull up the cage and there's a pig in it. And the pig is totally dry, for one thing. And I think that's more about the quality of the film than it is about anything, the meaning. But they're just like, whoa, that's really weird. Anyway, and then the weirdest thing is, towards the end, somebody comes on the boat, somebody we've never seen before. Our characters are standing there. The dude comes onto the boat, slowly kills two people, and the rest of the people are just like, oh. Now, I imagine you could be stunned if someone showed out of nowhere and just started killing people, but the dude takes his time. And maybe they're trying to, like, imply that this person is like supernaturally terrifying them so that they can't move or react, but they don't really make that clear. And the movie very quickly gives up any trappings of maybe it's aliens, and they end up our main actress and the guy who was looking into exorcisms. They just start having debates about religion and science.
What about your faith? You don't believe?
The idea of belief is accepting something even though you can't prove it. I mean, whether you believe in God, I believe in HEBs, it's exaggerating the truth. You say believe, but what you mean is you hope they exist.
And it's not particularly deep or well written. Then they throw in some time loop paradox predestination stuff that's just pointless. The movie's only 92 minutes long, but towards the end, I found myself nodding off. Looking at IMDb, guess what? It's another vanity project. It's written, directed, and produced by a guy named Kerry Bellessa. The location manager was somebody named Clark Bellessa. And it stars Summer Bellessa, who was also the co-producer. So, Immanence really is a bait and switch. It just ends up being faith versus science. I gotta give it 3 thumbs down. There's no aliens. There is a pig on a boat. And water's evil?